The Petersburg's Costume Creep-Athon! 3 costume pairs have been chosen. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, Captain America and Bucky Barnes, Thor and Loki. Today's project is Loki's costume.
Hello everyone, I am Phineas Peters of the Peters Bros, and welcome to Costume Creep-Athon 2017, where we will be making all sorts of amazing costumes from totally normal, easy-to-find stuff. Today I will be making a Loki costume, probably from Thor the Dark World, since I just really like the design of pretty much everything in that movie. The movie itself wasn't as good as the first Thor film, but the design and look of everything, I think, was a lot better. Also, be sure to check out the video where I make Loki's helmet. To construct this costume, I am going to use this black robe thing. It has tons of static electricity running through it for some reason, and yeah, it's super cheap. So the first thing I'm going to do is try this on. I'm going to obviously cut along this seam so that it's a coat rather than a, like, weird robe thing. Should cut these off right now. There we go. Loki does not have a hood on his coat, so, or this tag. And there we go. Oops, can't return this thing now. Okay, now I am going to cut along this center seam down to the bottom. And now we have just a jacket. Cool. So I'm just going to fold out one side. There we go. Cut that piece out, and now I can trace it right onto the other corner. So now I have 2 completely identical pieces to put on the collar. So we'll have 3 pieces of armor on either side of the chest. Get a piece of craft foam. Craft foam is an amazing invention. I've said it many times in my life. It's super cheap, which is one of the best parts. So now I'll just go through and cut these out. Okay, so I have traced and cut out all of the pieces that we would need for the armor. If you want, you can cut out just random little shapes with craft foam and hot glue them on. You might want to look at some reference images and just add more layers, because they are quite detailed little pieces of armor. I did cut out a few more pieces of craft foam. If I'm in the mood, I can go ahead and attach some of these, just because especially the shoulder plate is super detailed. Okay, so I have just finished putting a bunch of little dollops of hot glue onto here where the little bolts are on his armor. Now I'm going to take some golden metallic acrylic paint. This is the same paint that I used for Loki's helmet, and I might be running low, but that's okay because I have 2 more things of this. Alright, so now that all of these pieces have been painted gold, we can get out our black acrylic paint, our piece of cardboard, our paintbrush, and our paper towel, because we are about to do some weathering. If you look at any reference pictures of Loki's armor, you will notice that they are super blackened and dirty, and yeah, he's like been into lots of battles with that armor on. So right now, these look kind of like they've just come off the Asgardian conveyor belt. So I'll just put some black on here. Put some on. Get the towel. And wipe it right back off. And there we have some finished pieces of armor. I think that looks pretty cool. Another thing that I went ahead and did was I took an X-Acto knife, which I very carefully drew in some little details. There we go, and I'll just do the same thing to the other side. So, yeah, cut ahead to when that's done. Alright, those are glued on. Now I think we can start to add on these pieces of armor. So I've now stapled the armor plates onto both sides. So if I put this on for a second, you can see that the sleeves are super baggy, and that is not what we want. So I'm just literally going to grab this and fold it under here. Okay, now I'm going to add on the gauntlets. So I've just cut out these little strips out of craft foam. I'm going to put 2 on each arm. And just bend that up and staple it there. Now I'm just going to do something super simple. I'm just going to take this, this came from a raincoat, the hood of a raincoat actually, and I'm just going to wrap this around my arm, or my shoulder, and thread it through this so that this shoulder piece stays on. Thread it through. And then we just put it over whichever shoulder it is. I think it's this one. So right now I am wearing the t-shirt that I'm going to wear underneath. And I will go ahead and take some of this black fabric. This came from the raincoat that we used to make Bucky Barnes costume. Make sure to check that out. The link is down below to all the Costume Creep-Athon videos. So this should definitely be enough to enhance this t-shirt. So now I'm just going to cut this piece into some strips to weave across the midsection. Okay, this is how this is going to go. Just sort of a crisscrossing pattern with this piece, just a gold piece of craft foam with, I'm going to cut out a bunch of little squares and you can stick that right there. Now I'm just going to add some glue, start gluing. So here's the t-shirt with all of the bits and bobs on it. This is the collar thing, I'm not sure what that's for, but it's there. The 2 flaps that'll go on the leg area. Crisscrossing pattern. I cut out tiny little green pieces and just stuck them in there because it looks like he's wearing something green underneath. Now I'm going to cut a bunch of squares out of this thing. Now we can arrange them into a triangle shape and hot glue them on. Now I'm attaching these flaps to the bottom. And that is how I made my Loki costume from Thor: The Dark World. And I need to take this wig off, it's getting itchy. So if you want to know how to make this helmet though, you can go and check out the link in the description box to find that video where I make this helmet. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you're doing on Halloween. Share this video with friends and family and people who might be interested in making their own Loki costume. If you have not done so yet, I beg you, subscribe. And don't forget to tell your enemies that we are awesome.